Your brand is facing a crisis. It's a social media crisis. How do you regain control? How do you turn things around? How do you turn the narrative around? So, this is the dilemma. And we might all find ourselves in this, whether you're a solo creator or a big brand. So, here are some tips and some pointers for you to direct your effort better. So, first things first, you've got to assess the damage. This can be done through what you're already doing, which is hopefully tracking the sentiment. Hopefully, you are tracking what people are saying and then you are recording it somewhere. You need to record it somewhere other than your head. You need to put that down. So, if it's a copy and paste job, if it's quickly populating an Excel sheet, or making a note on a notepad and tracking what are the themes, what are the kinds of things that people are saying. And then you can begin to do that wonderful thing, which I talk about all the time on this new channel, as well as my streaming channel. And that is zooming out. You want to zoom out and you want to take a step all the way back. So you're assessing the damage, you're listening to what people are saying, you're recording what they're saying. Perhaps you are noting down what the questions are, what the complaints are. You are just getting into the nitty gritty. That's the first thing. Next thing is you've got to figure out what you're going to say. You've got to craft a response. Don't react, don't jump straight away on social media with your phone and start talking at it and just talking off the top of your head and just streaming like a stream of consciousness. This is really authentic. No, it's not. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stream of consciousness, authentic, whatever, is great when you're not in a crisis. And so don't do it. It's highly risky. If you go on a live, you can't take that back. So craft something. Take a minute. Even if you feel like you have to respond within a day, you've only got 24 hours. Write something, go for a walk, come back, write, like edit it, record it, like do like a test recording, do a voice memo, listen to yourself, go for a walk, cook something, take a bath, go to the gym, come back, write, type it out, see what it looks like. Record it on camera, see what it feels like, send it to somebody you really trust, send it to a stakeholder, so somebody who can give you a second opinion if you feel like you can't zoom out enough. Okay, take your time. So now comes the time for you to execute. You've put it out. What next? Okay. Now comes the responses. And what if there's no response? It's okay if there's no response. You can still do a follow up. Always do a follow up. Never just leave it as just the one thing that you've just said. But you do need to engage directly. You need to engage with people immediately as they respond to you. So you've got to take time out for that. Last thing you should be doing is putting something out there and then walking away and saying, I've done my bit, I've said what I needed to say. No, you've got to engage with the response. If you're going to put something out, then make sure you are there. Make sure you are there to receive the response. Otherwise, it's that kind of an action is just going to feel very insincere and you might do yourself more damage. Then it might look like your statement was just really self-indulgent. It was just serving you. It's like having a conversation with somebody, but just speaking at them and not really waiting to hear what they have to say. So that's that. Now you've got to update regularly. You can't just do a one and done. If there's a crisis, you're going to have to plan this out for a few weeks, few months, even, maybe even a year. So if you want to go to the sort of, what is it, the mattresses? If you want to address the situation directly, then be prepared to do it consistently. Do it every month. This is how brands, I think, have actually ended up putting in something like a town hall, like occurrence, like frequently, when they've had to do this, had to respond to everyone, and then before you know it, like they're having to do it regularly until people don't want it anymore. And so what you're doing is you're being very receptive to what people want, your audience wants, what they really engage with, what they need. Now, if you do have any supporters in your audience, leverage them. This sounds a little bit calculating. What does this mean? It means you want to hear from them, their endorsement, hear from them and how they advocate for you, how they can help you out a little bit. It's calculating, but that's PR. That is PR. You've got to, if you're going to be ethical about this, which we always want to be, she says, of course you are. Anyway, s- behave. If you're going to be ethical about this, you've got to learn from the experience and you've got to adapt accordingly. You cannot just be like, oh, phew, sorted that out. Now let's carry on making the same mistakes over and over. That would just be terrible. Really not a good idea. The last thing you want to do is evaluate. How did things go? We do these in our campaigns all the time. We always evaluate at the end. Check, how did it go? What was the response? I mean, every social media platform gives you the ability to look at analytics and look at metrics. So look at like all of those, like that series of statements, those posts that you've put out. How do they perform? How do people engage with it? Do a comparison. It's all in your hands. You can do it. You don't have to pay someone else to do it for you. But if you can, that's a good way to go as well. But this is within your grasp. You can do it. I believe in you. And if you want more advice, you know where I am. You know where I am. I'm right here. And I'll see you in the next video.